What's up, you guys, and welcome to an episode of Cam's Corner where we talk about it. Today's topic is one that I am super excited to talk about and that I've always really wanted to talk about, which is toxic masculinity. I brought along two of my good friends, Jalen Jackson and JoJo Milgraves III, to really help dissect this topic and have this conversation from a man's point of view. So sit back and relax, and we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Even though there is so much against us,
you will see me choose to protect myself and my community from the coronavirus by wearing a face covering.
Because it's going to take all of us thinking about one another.
And even with my face covered, you will see me.
You will see me as a mother, a wife, a friend.
As an athlete who gave everything to the game I love.
As a father, leading by example.
As a sister.
An entertainer.
As a champion for my people.
You will see me finding a light in a dark time.
To unlock our creativity and push our craft.
You will see me demanding the space to tell the stories that matter.
As a man who knows that tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Join us in wearing a face covering to help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because covering your face is one small act of kindness that has the power to bring us together.
So welcome back. Welcome back. Let me bring my guest into the screen. Here we go. What's up, everyone?
Hey, yeah, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Good. No, it's Tuesday. Wake up early in the morning, did some workout. So yeah.
Okay, love to hear it. What about you, Jay?
Doing good, man. Excited to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. All right. So before we begin into the topic, as I stated, toxic masculinity, I definitely wanted to give context to some of our viewers about what toxic masculinity is. So from a New York Times article titled, "What is Toxic Masculinity?" It is said to be toxic masculinity is what can come of teaching boys that they can't express emotions openly, that they have to be tough all the time, and that anything other than that makes them feminine or weak. Traits and signs of toxic masculinity is suppressing of emotions, maintaining an appearance of hardness, and violence as an indicator of power, known as tough guy behavior. So I guess my question is for you guys. How do you feel? How do y'all feel about toxic masculinity?
Okay, I'll go ahead and answer first. In my opinion, toxic masculinity is a very pressing issue, especially in these days. It's not only harmful to others, as well as harmful to yourself. But taking from a psychological perspective, being a psychology major, it's not very good to keep your emotions bottled up, as we are told to do as men. Trying to hold everything, that's not very good for your mental space. It's very harmful to you. Can cause stress, can cause depression, a lot of things. So toxic masculinity is really a pressing issue that really needs to be addressed in a lot of young men these days.
I definitely agree with that. What about you, JoJo?
I feel like it's something that was made up by society, and it has been forced on people. Just like Jalen said, it is very, very unhealthy to the society, but it has been going on for generations and it has been passed down on how a man should be and how every single man should be. So if you are anything less than that, you're quote unquote soft, or you're deemed feminine, or you're not deemed man enough.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I definitely agree. The thing about I like about 2021 or this new generation, as you can say, is that people are having this conversation and it's being brought to the forefront a lot more, and people are paying a lot more attention to their mental health. So like talking about toxic masculinity back then was not a thing. It was known to be very macho, manly, head of the household. We don't cry. We don't show no emotions. We're just tough all the time. And now later down the line, generations later, we're seeing the cause and effect of toxic masculinity being with our younger generation's male aggression, not showing emotion, mental health just on the rocks. So why do you think toxic masculinity was created? Like, for what reason? And especially in the African American community.
In my opinion, I feel like it goes back to the era where we had gender roles, and the man is the head of the household, and the woman is supposed to submit to. So basically, you know how basically it's supposed to be that if you're a leader, your people are not supposed to see you weak. So if a man is a man of the household, that means that he should always keep his head high, no crying, no emotion, just kind of then always rolling with the punches. And now we are seeing that generation that's not the case. It's okay to say I'm tired. It's okay to say I'm not feeling well. So I feel like that's how it started.
To piggyback off what Jojo was saying, it's just really people try to, or I feel like men try to conform to the norms of what they think society is supposed to be. We present society as supposed to be, oh, men are supposed to be hard, they're supposed to not having emotions, they're supposed to be dominant, they're supposed to be aggressive, and that's what society has presented men as supposed to be in the past. So men have trying to conform to that, and they've taken on some of those traits without realizing that it's actually harmful to themselves and to others.
Okay. I definitely agree with that. So that actually leads me to my next question. So what is your definition of being a man?
Well, in my point of view, a man is someone who lives in their true, authentic purpose. They are matured, and they are a good member of the society.
I would say my definition of a man, kind of piggybacking off what Jojo was saying, person who knows himself, a leader, but somebody who knows their strengths and their weaknesses, someone who's not afraid to admit if they're wrong, someone who's not afraid to ask for help, but knows how to play their strengths and their weaknesses. That's what a man is to me.
Okay. For me, I feel like the definition of a man is just being like your authentic self, like knowing who you are, finding your truth and speaking that and standing firm in that. I feel like that's for me. And that goes with everything y'all listed as well. Just but being authentically you and not caring what anybody has to say, whether that is feminine, whether that is whatever you want to call it. It's your definition of your man, finding your own self and being okay with that and leading in your own truth. I feel like that is the definition of being a man. So I guess what defines masculinity? Good one, right? I know.
I'll go ahead and answer first for this one. So when you take into consideration masculinity, like I was saying, I feel like society has pushed its own agenda on what masculinity is. So if we look at how society presents it, it means being hard, being tough, being dominant, being aggressive, not asking for help. That's what I feel like masculinity is to our society at this day and age still. And it's been like that for a long time, as Jojo was saying earlier. So that's what I feel like we see masculinity as it's supposed to be.
Okay. Jojo?
Yeah, I feel like our society has defined what masculinity or what masculine is supposed to be and what feminine is supposed to be, and I feel like science plays a bit of role into this too, because when it comes to the genes and stuff, because when someone is feminine, they cannot help it because that's who they truly are. So I feel like it's unfair when with the standard that they have for being masculine. You have a bass voice. Some people go as far as to say you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't do all that extra stuff that we've been talking about the whole time.
Okay. That really just kind of brings the question in. So bring the question in about, so is masculinity even a thing? Is it even real? Because as we were talking about, you say everybody keeps saying supposed to be this, supposed to be that. So with that being said, is masculinity real? Is it a real thing, or is something that we just accepted? And if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that we have taken on that we need to let go, because a man, like both Jelly and I define what a man is. When we say what a man is, none of us said a man is supposed to be masculine. So that means that a man can be feminine and still be a man. The same way a woman can be masculine and still be a woman, because that doesn't define who a man or woman is. So it's something that we have taken along, and we need to let it go. To let it
I agree. Jay?
Yeah, I definitely agree with JoJo. It's something that we need to let go because I mean, people are trying to conform to this construct of masculinity, and they're not being their true authentic selves, like you both said, and it's hindering themselves from growth within themselves. So I believe that masculinity is just something that we just made up, and now it's just been pushed for so long that we're used to it. But honestly, it's something that we definitely need to let go.
Oh, I agree. Oh, y'all, I love this topic. I've always wanted to talk about this topic, especially this one hits home for me. Especially, I am not the most toughest guy. I mean, my voice is not the deepest. But growing up felt like I had to be so tough that I couldn't show emotions, that I just had to be this macho man. And that's just not who I was. That's just not with my personality. So to have these conversations now is really hitting home for me, because it's like now, people are telling you to be yourself and telling you to know your truth and find who you are. And it sucks that I've only just begun starting to know who I am in my 20s, and I'm 21. So I can just imagine some of the men that are still struggling with toxic masculinity in households and in their own households as well. So I guess my last final question for you guys would be, what is it that makes masculinity become toxic?
I would say whenever it's forced on people, because certain people go above and beyond to fulfill the stereotype of being a masculine man, and that's how it becomes toxic. Because at that time, not only are they hindering themselves from being happy, their actions can affect their friends, their spouses, and who they are. And then when that happens, they are not a good member of society. I would rather take a man who is feminine, who's their true authentic self, than a man who is quote unquote masculine and just a headache.
I believe that masculinity becomes toxic when men are trying to impress people, trying to give them this certain look. You're trying to be tough. You're trying to look good in front of women. You're trying to just be not showing any emotions. Something hurts you. You know something really hurts you, but you choose not to show it because you think, oh, how is somebody going to think about me if I show it? And we take other people's opinions too close into consideration when we should be thinking about what makes us happy, how this makes us feel, instead of worried about how other people feel about us. So definitely I feel like men need to take less more opinion about how other people might feel about us and just know what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and display that more, in my opinion.
Oh, I love these answers. I would have to agree. I think for me, masculinity becomes toxic when, I guess when you bring women into the picture, when men start to become misogynistic towards women. As you see, like having a lot of females cheating, disrespecting women, a lot of that stuff in that, I guess, that area of things, that's when masculinity really starts to become toxic, because it's starting to affect you, but it's starting to affect the people around you, the women that you want to love, your daughters, your mothers, your sisters, and it's like a disease, just keep spreading and keep going, and then you just keep creating that trauma and not really focusing on the bigger picture, which is you and who you are, but you're so worried about who everybody thinks you are and who you think you should be. So yeah, I think that's what makes masculinity toxic. So that was my last question. We'll be right back after this short break.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
All right, welcome back, you guys. as this live is coming to an end, I would love to thank my special guests, Jalen Jackson and JoJo, for joining us. Thank you. And to my classmate, Armani, for running the board today. I really thank you guys for coming and having this conversation, because it's definitely something that needs to happen and needs to be talked about. And I'm glad it is being talked about more in 2021. And I guess my leaving remarks for you guys and all the viewers is to really be who you are, show your truth, and know who you are, and stand firm in that, and don't be afraid. Whether that is happy, goofy, whatever that is, don't be afraid to be you, and just be your authentic self, and not caring, and just be happy. Because that's what truly makes you you, and you can't change that for nobody, not even society. And if they can't get with the program, then they just got to get out the program. So it's been real, you guys. Thank you all for joining. I guess I'll see you next time. Peace.